everyone. My name is Alicia. I'll be guiding you through your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. As part of my 300-hour teacher training, I am doing a zodiac themed class for all of the zodiac signs, and today's is Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, and as we're nearing the end of the zodiac signs, Aquarius can represent kind of new beginnings and the new technology that we might start to inhabit with and coexist with to help bring humanity into kind of the next age, the next phase. So very poignant right now as I film this in 2020. And the chakra for today's class is the root chakra. So root typically meaning grounding, earth sign. That's what we tend to think of when we think of the root chakra. However, bringing kind of an airiness and a lightness to this can help us maybe see the root chakra in a different light and play with it a little bit differently today. The mantra for today's practice is, I thrive in change and evolution. I thrive in change and evolution. I love that one. All of the mantras for the zodiac practices are brought to you by my yoga teacher who I'm taking my 300-hour with. And today's class is going to be a little bit different because we are using a strap. So that's going to be really, really key throughout this whole practice. If you don't have a strap at home, anything will work. A towel will work if you just want to kind of roll it up. A larger pillowcase, a belt, anything that you have that you can really use to just loop around and help ground you in today's practice. So I'm very excited to get started with you today. Let's begin. Making your way onto your back, lowering down, keeping your strap handy and nearby, resting it on your pelvis. Close down the eyes and just begin to notice how you arrived on your mat today. Notice maybe what thoughts came with you, what feelings, and beginning to notice the support of the ground beneath you, beneath your feet, your sacrum, your back, and bringing both knees into chest, taking your strap and gently pulling near the ankles, somewhere along the shin, and just really hugging your knees to chest. Making sure that both shoulders are evenly touching the mat. And then taking the strap and wrapping it around both feet, extending the feet out long, up over your hips, holding the strap gently, allowing the legs to just fall into a comfortable position. Deepening the breath here. Grabbing in whatever way is comfortable for you. And really stretching through the hamstrings, through the backs of the calves. This is going to be a very slow class today. So ensuring that you're in no rush, giving your muscles the relaxation they deserve and the breath they need to do so. Begin to maybe roll your feet left to right, stretching out through the sacrum, And then slowly bringing knees back towards chest, taking your left foot outside of the strap and just keeping your right foot high to the sky. Left foot can be extended or knee bent with foot on the mat if that feels better for you. Just giving some focus, some attention to that right leg. If you are using a yoga strap, you feel free to strap this around your shoulder so that you don't have to hold on. I don't demo that here because I just wanted to show you in case you weren't using a strap at home. But feel free to play with what feels good, deepening what doesn't. The longer that we hold postures, the more we're able to really release. Bringing it to the outside, to the right side, allowing the leg to fall, holding the strap only with your right hand, finding turnout of the hip, allowing it to be held wherever it needs to in your own body so that your sacrum is fully on the ground. Whenever you're ready, bringing it back up to the sky and allowing it to begin to release to the left. So twisting it over your left side body. Nice and slow. I thrive in change and evolution. Evolution and change both have time in common. They take time, and they are time. And so taking the time today to really sit and be with yourself will leave you much better than when you started. Bringing awareness back to your breath if it has wandered, and bringing kindness to your body for where it is at today in this moment. Slowly bending at the knee and bringing your foot all the way back up so that it is straight. Slowly, gently, and lovingly. Bending your right knee and bringing your left foot in so that it is inside of the strap, and extending your right leg out long, or keeping your foot on the mat with knees bent. Begin to get acquainted with your left side, how your left calf is feeling, left hamstring. Bringing it as close to you as you can. Then maybe pulling away. Maybe bending and straightening that knee. Curling through the toes. Noticing the difference in the two sides. Allowing your leg to fall to the left side, releasing the right hand from the strap. Breathing into that hip flexor. So much emotion is held in our hips. Being kind and meeting whatever comes up with love. Slowly bringing your leg back up through center. And then taking it over to the other side, finding a twist here. Ensuring that you're rolling on the side of your right hip so that the twist is not happening in your hips but in your spine. And then playing around with wherever that foot lands and allowing it to land where it wants versus maybe where you think it should be. I thrive in change and evolution. Evolution and change, in addition to time, usually take a lot of patience. I had a really difficult time cultivating patience for most of my life, and it's still a practice. But I now like to think of patience as a friend who comes and sits with me when I need them. Bringing your leg back up through center. Bringing both legs up so that they are in the strap,
And just pulling them as close to your head as you can. Reaching with the strap. And bending at the knees. Again, coming into a little ball pose. And releasing the strap out from your feet. Begin rocking and rolling the length of your mat. Rolling out through the spine. Taking the fleshy parts of your seat and moving them out, extending the feet out long in front of you. Again, grabbing for your strap. I am starting to loop mine through so that I have a loop to work with. If you don't have a strap or a belt and are just using a towel, just follow along as best as you can. And just making mine nice and snug on my foot, my left foot. And moving to both feet so that both feet are in the strap. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders down and back. And begin to just move the torso forward. Keeping the spine as straight as you can. Not about how low you can go, but how much of a stretch you can get through your glutes, through the low back, through the hamstrings. Using your breath to get to wherever you're going in your path on change and evolution. Slowly sitting up, releasing your right foot from the strap, keeping it inside of your left, bringing your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Bend forward on your next exhale, just reaching for that left foot, reaching in the direction of the left foot. It doesn't have to meet. Noticing and being aware of the sensations in your body. And then making your way up. Reaching the strap up overhead with your right hand. We'll be reaching up and overhead towards the left foot, but just feel free to get there nice and slow and gently. Resting the left arm wherever is most comfortable for you, opening up through the side body. Just making space for your head, opening up through the shoulder, giving it as much space as you need. There it is. Sometimes the change and the evolution looks a lot different than what we had in mind. I would say oftentimes. And surrendering to that is a beautiful process. Releasing the strap. Taking the strap and strapping it onto your right foot, Bringing your left foot in to meet your thigh. And just with a flat back, bend forward. Towards your right toes. Rising up, taking the strap up overhead, opening up through the side body as you reach towards your toes, giving your head and neck enough space to be. Stretching and breathing in your left side body. Always coming back to play. Playing in the posture and allowing it to play through you. Releasing. Sitting up and removing the strap from your right foot. Rolling into tabletop. Inhale to cow, dropping the belly, lift the chest. Feel free to take any neck circles. And exhale, curl around the spine, tuck the chin, cat pose. Maybe a sway of the hips, the shoulders. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Making sure hips are stacked over knees. Inhale to cow. Shoulders stacked over wrists. And curl around the spine. Exhale, cat pose. Walking your hands slightly forward, curling the toes under. Inhale, lifting the hips up high, downward facing dog. Belly pulls up and in, framing the ears with the shoulders. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, lift the toes high. And exhale, lowering the heels. Inhale, lifting the heels high and rolling onto the tops of your feet so that you're rolled onto your toes. This is a pretty intense stretch for your feet. If this doesn't feel good, please skip it. Breathing deeply. A beautiful stretch through the tops of the feet, and whenever you're ready, release. Inhale, heels high, bending at the knees, moving through tabletop, and sitting so that you're on your heels with toes curled under. Again, if that feels too challenging, feel free to sit on the tops of your feet. I switch about halfway through, I believe, but getting into a shoulder stretch, taking your strap in your right hand and draping it over your right shoulder, reaching back behind you, strap in hand with the right, and then taking your left hand behind you and reaching and grabbing for that strap. Deep breaths here, shoulders down and back, knees touch together. Feeling a beautiful opening in through your right shoulder space. I thrive in change and evolution. Untucking the toes if you need to, if that's more comfortable, or sitting on a block or a prop. And reaching the hands as close together as they can, slowly crawling them forward as you find more opening, more space. Elbow points straight up above the shoulder. Pulling the belly in, knitting the ribs together. And slowly releasing the right hand and left hand down. Taking it onto the other side, grabbing the strap with your left hand, allowing it to hang below you, reaching the right arm back behind you, and slowly crawling the fingertips towards one another along your strap. Again, making sure that the ribs aren't popping out, tummy pulled nice and tight in. Elbow directly over shoulder. Sitting in the uncomfortability and breathing through the uncomfortability. Change and evolution both take a lot of uncomfortability. I thrive in change and evolution. I thrive. Allowing the uncomfortability to be a sign, a cue for you to say, oh, I'm changing. I am in evolution. I am in the process. And oh yeah, I thrive here. Giving yourself those reminders. Especially when it feels very challenging. releasing everything down. Moving back through tabletop. Tap the toes out, give them a good shake. Take another round of cat-cow if that feels good for you. Curling the toes under, pushing the hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high. And exhale, bringing the right ankle to the left hand. Half pigeon on the right. Taking a second to glance behind you, make sure that back leg is super straight. Sitting the weight onto your hips. Using any blocks or props that maybe help you get to a comfortable position. We'll be moving toward King Pigeon with a strap. And so strapping your left foot and reaching with the strap with your left hand. I should really be using a block or prop underneath my right hip. That would really help stabilize me. And so don't use me as a great example, but with both arms reaching up overhead, using that strap to help open up through the quad. And if reaching arms overhead is uncomfortable, feel free to just keep it over your shoulder. And play around with it. Since we just did such a great shoulder opener, our shoulders should feel nice and open to be able to use the strap overhead. Playing with the positioning as much as you want. Releasing down and giving some opening to your hip if you want to try again. Or figure out a comfortable way to be in the posture. And playing in it again as much as you wish, as much as feels good in your body. And releasing the strap from your left foot. Coming down. Releasing three-legged down dog. Stretching the right leg up. Maybe shaking it out. Give it some life. And release downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Release it, half pigeon to the left side. Again, glancing back, making sure that your right leg is super straight. Just noticing the difference between the sides. We all have the one side that's we feel so much more flexible in, so much less tension. Just noticing and being kind when, or if you're on the side that isn't as flexible and is a lot more tense. Strapping your right foot in this time, reaching back behind you and grabbing for the strap with your right arm, with your left arm, just over the shoulder. Whatever feels good in your body. And just being honest. We have a lot of time to play in this posture, so please do so. Releasing down whenever you're ready. Unstrapping the strap from your foot. Inhaling, three-legged down dog. Again, shake it out. Do whatever your body is calling for. Some pretty intense stretches. And releasing back to downward facing dog. Roll the body forward, lower the knees down into tabletop, taking the feet out to the side, making your way into a seat, and taking the strap. This time it will be pretty important to have a strap. This is one of my absolute favorite strap postures. And so taking the strap, wrapping it behind you at your low back with evenly distributed sides, coming into butterfly pose. So feet together, knees out wide, taking the strap, wrapping it around your feet, and then looping it through. And tightening it as necessary. And so really trying to keep the strap right above your hips, right where your glutes cease and your low back starts. I like to get this nice and tight, as it really does feel like quite an opening. Taking the back nice and straight and tall, rolling the shoulders down and back behind you. Whenever you have got it situated. And feel how you can lean back into it and the strap is supporting you, holding you up. And slowly begin to lean all the way back. Maybe your feet come up, that's okay. And then sit them low. So you're laying in a modified Supta Baddha Konasana with a strap. Palms up, shoulders roll down and back, closing down the eyes. And deep breaths in here. I thrive in change and evolution. Bringing one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Just really relaxing and deepening the breath. Feeling the belly rise with the chest and feeling them fall together on the exhale. This body, this moment, this practice, such a beautiful gift. And it will change and evolve. The one certainty we have, I thrive in change and evolution. They are happening all around you, within you, without you, all the time. Thriving in their presence is the ultimate practice. Slowly, 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 mindfully, pushing up to your elbows first, then your hands, and sitting up nice and tall. Begin to release your strap. For Shavasana today, I take legs up the wall. If that is convenient and comfortable for you, please join me. If not, if it's not accessible or not comfortable in your body today, feel free to take traditional Shavasana, laying on your mat on your back. Palms up to receive, down to ground. Slight bend in the knees if your legs are up the wall. Heels in, toes out. Shoulders roll down and back. Tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Wiggling out through your jaw one last time in case any tension is hiding in there. And take these next moments to just be. If you're ready to reawaken, begin by wiggling the fingers, the toes, rolling out through the wrists, the ankles, and roll to your favorite side whenever you're ready. Making your way to a comfortable seat with eyes still closed. Joining hands at heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. It is my deepest honor and gratitude to share this practice with you. We bow forward and say namaste. Thank you so much, friends. Hope to see you next time. Have a great day.